Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. So today's video is a little bit short. I said a little bit short, but I usually go, I don't know. Hopefully I don't go 20 plus because it's very compact, it's very to the point, and it actually involves a lot of the things that I like. Psychology, it's actually something that somebody said. It's something that's true to life, and it's something that I've been telling you in bits and pieces throughout these videos that I've been making. But before we begin, like always, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so that you can get notified of any new videos that come on to my YouTube channel. Hit the like button. So today's going to be a very, very interesting video because it's appreciating what you have, because it can all go away in a blink of an eye. And that's the saying, right? Appreciate what you have because it can all go away in the blink of an eye. Remember, right? We don't live forever, but we can always live in the here and now, in the present, so that we can enjoy things better, so that we're focused, so that we're able to deal with things and adapt. Because as human beings, we have to adapt, right? And so if you have a topic that you want me to, make a video on, let me know and I'll give you my take on it. You can also connect with me on Facebook at Carlos Flores Jr. You can connect with me on Instagram at Back on Basics. You can connect with me on X at Carlos AFJR. And so let's get to it. So, appreciate everything that you have, right? And does it mean that you're in a spot where you want to be? No, it doesn't. I'm not telling you that, just because you're appreciating everything that you have, it doesn't mean that that's where you want to be. It doesn't. It just means that at this point in time, when you're right now in this situation, where you're at, if you want to be very specific, at 6:20 p.m. Pacific time, you are appreciating everything that you have. Appreciate it. Appreciate family. Appreciate friends. Appreciate support systems, right? Appreciate your village. Your village has taken care of you since you were little. My village has been taking care of me for a little bit over 48 years. Believe me, I really appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of the people. And one of the reasons why, it's because I have learned from everybody. I have learned from my support system, from my family, from my friends, from my village. And I have been taught things that a lot of people just don't know. You know that? And by being bilingual, right? Spanish and English, I'm able to learn twice as much, because it seems like sometimes, the Spanish world and the English world are worlds apart in some things, and they cohabitate, or they are together in others. And so I've learned a lot of things. I've learned how to grow crops. My grandfather, he taught me how to grow crops: corn, beans, lentils. There's so many different things that I've learned how to do. I learned from my dad, rest in peace, Pops. He's been gone for over a month, and so from him, I learned that you can get tired of something so bad that you don't even want to see it. It's funny, but it's not funny. My dad was so poor that him and his brothers went to the river every single time and every single day in El Salvador, and they would fish. That was their main staple for a long time, for years, fishing. So guess what? My dad hated fish like the plague. I feel so blessed to have known him, because he has such humble beginnings. And so, but he was like, sometimes I'm like, Dad, aren't you going to try some fish after not having it for a while? And he's like, son, when you go and fish every single day for year after year after year, and you're eating fish, and sometimes you're eating fish for 3 meals a day, and sometimes the fish gets cooked a different way, and sometimes the fish gets hidden as if it's not fish, but it is fish, but it tastes like fish, but it's shown like as if it was something else. He's like, I don't think you would like to eat fish anymore. And I said, Pops, I got you. I got you. And it's interesting, the conversations that him and I had. And so, I mean, for somebody to not like fish, it's a big thing. And again, he appreciated everything that he had. He did. He appreciated his jerseys. He appreciated his pants, his things. He appreciated the truck that he had. He appreciated the house. He appreciated us as family. He appreciated the fact that, he was retired. He appreciated pension. He appreciated everything. And then it was gone. And he was gone. And he's been gone for what? A little bit over a month. Oh, actually, not a little bit, about a month and a half. I mean, he was going to live the rest of his years going back to El Salvador for 2.5 months, maybe 3, coming back, and then just spending time with us as family, and then going back again. But it didn't happen. So you have to appreciate what you have right now. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that I appreciate that I have. Again, family. I have education. I appreciate that because I can think critically. I can think in many different ways. I can look at things from many different perspectives. I have hands-on skills that, somebody who's educated doesn't want to get his hands dirty. I don't care. I'm always getting my hands dirty. Actually, when was it? 3 days ago, I was lifting the hood of one of our cars, putting Freon on it, making sure that making sure that the condenser worked, that the AC was flowing, that it was cooler than whatever it was when it was having nothing. I mean, Pops, my uncles, my cousin Chungo, may he rest in peace. I mean, he passed away in COVID, during COVID. And so I've learned a lot of things. I learned how to change the tire. I learned how to paint. I learned how to sheetrock. I've learned how to do a lot of things. And you know what it gave me? It gave me mental sharpness, and it made me stay here in the here and now. And it made me feel like if my first tier job or activity or whatever I can't do anymore, then I go to the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one. And believe me, I'll start with my head, because you know what? Our brains are like my supercomputers, right? And so I would start looking for a job with that. I would start looking for a job that I would like. I would start looking for something that I can just use my head and maybe my hands on. I love it. I don't mind getting hands on. And when I was working at University of Phoenix full time, yes, I was the academic affairs director. But at the same time, I was down with everybody, setting up and tearing down whenever there are conferences and trainings and everything, stacking chairs, moving them from one room to another, making sure that everything was taken care of. Appreciate what you have. Appreciate what you have. One tip that I'm going to tell you before moving on is make a list of the things that you're good at. Make a list of the things that you know, right? Make a list. You'll be amazed. And I mean, make a list. And what I want you to do is once you have the list, right? I want you to look at it, and I want you to see how much you have learned at that point in your life, and appreciate it. Because guess what? It takes a village to raise you. It took a village. It has taken a village to raise you. So you got to start thanking those people that have taught you how to do things. My tío Merso, he taught me how to do some carpentry. I mean, my dad and him and Chungo and I and my brother and my mom, we built decks. We redid rooms. I mean, we dealt with like stones in the front yard. We went to put nice rocks with little right around the flowers and the roses that we had. I mean, that was all done by hand. I was learning how to do that in high school. I can still do that. And there's other things that sometimes we don't really know that we have, but we do. Thanks to my grandfather and my mom, and there's others, and my family, I have great green thumbs. I can grow things. I can actually get something from a seed to a tree, from a seed to a flower, from a seed to food. And I appreciate that, because you know what? It's hard to comprehend the things that you know until you realize that throughout your life, for me, throughout my 48 years, I have learned so much that I've become so adaptable that people see me as a unicorn. It's like people actually say that you're a unicorn because you know all of this, and you can calm kids down. You can talk to kids. All the kids want to be around you. You're like a Pied Piper. But guess what? I've been taught to deal with people. I've been taught respect from the beginning, to the point that sometimes I give too much respect and people take advantage. And so I have to learn things. I've learned things throughout. There's many people that have done that have happened, that have taught me. My village has taught me everything that they need to learn at this point. I mean, there's so many different things. I mean, even with my father's passing, the things that you need to do in order to get somebody that has passed off of a house, off of a pension, off of Social Security, off of it takes a lot. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. But my support system, one of my good friends, Steve, told me, tell your mom, because she was in El Salvador at that time, tell your mom to make multiple copies of all the things, like death certificates, birth certificates, marriage certificates, everything. And so she did. And now she's using them throughout. And on top of that, because she was running low on some of them, there was this guy 2 days ago at the Social Security office in the next town in Sacramento, and you know, he was so nice that he made copies for her of, not only we had copies of the death certificate, but she was running low on marriage certificates, and a lot of people asked that, right, to create the link of the survivor couple or partner. And so it's just amazing, right? Appreciate that. Appreciate what you have, because you never know, right? You never know when. We're not going to be worried about it. I'm telling you, I'm not worried about passing, because I'm not. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone because I want to make sure that I have the note in here. But don't worry about that. That's in the future. It hasn't been built, right? Remember, I told you, in the present, here and now. You have to be in here and now. Because if you start thinking about that, then what are you doing? Your mind is sucking itself out and telling you. Remember, I drill psychology every single video. If you think you will do, if you do, then you'll think. Remember, if you think about your end point, what is your body going to start doing? It's going to start thinking, oh my goodness, is it that time? Then it'll start adjusting to it. Believe me, I wasn't thinking that way, but I was, with me is my weight. It was my weight. I was 265 2.5 years ago, and it's hard to now be at right around 214 and getting to 210 and then getting to 200. I mean, it's hard, but I appreciate the fact that I'm 214. Don't get me wrong. I would have appreciated the fact that I was 265 at that point in time. Remember the saying that I gave you a few videos ago. It said, accept what you have now while working towards what you want. Again, right? Accept what you have now while working towards what you want. And so I still have dreams. If anybody knows anybody from the pro wrestling industry, I mean, I could be a great manager. At first I wanted to be a wrestler. That was one of the things that I wanted to do. I don't know if I can be a wrestler right now, but I can be a great manager. I can be an announcer. I could be play-by-play. I can do a lot of different things and love it. It doesn't have to be a pro wrestler, as long as in the industry, right? I love counseling. I love psychology. I mean, at some point I wanted to be a psychologist. I wanted to be a therapist, and I was working towards that. And then things changed because I wasn't at the right time of doing that. So one of the things that a wise person told me a week ago, she said, you can always go back and see if that would fit you now. Try your old, how did she put it? I think she tried your old coats and your old job attempts or your old jobs that you wanted to be, and see if they fit, see if they feel comfortable, see if this is what you want to do. I mean, I've always wanted to be K through 12, and I'm doing it right now. I'm struggling because I'm learning the ropes as I go, but you know what? But I love it. I also want to be in a community college as a president, vice president, provost, assistant president. I want to make a change. I was gonna go into song, but it's kind of like the Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson. I want to make a change for once in my life. I know that I've made changes, and I know that I made changes in people's lives, and I'm trying to help you so that way you can get to you want to get to, because I'm part of your support system. And so, bottom line is, appreciate what you have now, right? Be grateful always. It says, because in the blink of an eye, everything can go. I'm not saying, and I'm not wishing it on anybody here. But what I'm saying is that appreciate it. Believe me. So one of the things that, and I'll stop the video. I mean, I'm at 18 minutes short video. My booty. There's something that I kept. And I was looking for it today, and I couldn't find it. There was something that I kept, and it was amazing because. And I may get emotional. I'm telling you, I may get emotional, but it's something, and I'll get it. So listen to it. I don't know how loud it's gonna be. So. Hola, hijo. Hola, hijo. It happened to me this morning. I'm processing. I mean, it's been a month and a half or so, but that's my dad. When he called me, and I was doing something else, and so he left a message, and he said, hey son, appreciate what you have, because it could be gone in a blink of an eye. So again, make sure that you appreciate everybody around, your support system, your family, your friends. Appreciate the job that you have. Appreciate the skills that you have learned. Thank the people that have taught you how to be the person who you are. But most importantly, right? Appreciate yourself. Because you know what? You're doing a hell of a job. No matter if you're down, no matter if you have fallen, no matter if you have lost somebody, no matter if you have split from somebody, no matter if you have nobody, if you think you have nobody in the world. But you do, right? Because you're watching these videos and I'm part of your support system. So make sure that you're thankful for yourself. Right? It's not being greedy. It's not being vain. It's being grateful. Be grateful for you, who you are. Till next time, back on basics.